So it's this at least okay. Yeah, I put on the suit. I put on the button up today. Wanted to look more professional and classy because I knew today was gonna be a hot day, and I said, starting Monday, I gotta start bringing, I gotta start bringing some pizzazz to to this company right here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes ain't stunting how they supposed to, but I am. You feel me? But on a serious note, man, I hope you guys are having a phenomenal one. I had to come on today. The podcast will be up. I changed the day to every Tuesday now. Right, I know. I be switching it up all over the times, et cetera, et cetera. It's just like I said, it's just a lot on my plate, a lot on my mind. Um, I just started, going back into writing the books and trying to put the necessary things together to give you guys a phenomenal book, something that you guys can read and always go back to when things get real, things get rough. Because at the end of the day, that's the goal, is to help us prepare for what's coming. And what's coming, it's you already know what it is, man. But our strength, guys, like I told you, I'm gonna do a podcast showing you that money in general is evil. Not the love of money, but money in general is evil. I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna break it down, and put these things together so you guys can really understand how money has destroyed humanity and how it's destroying us even more. The more that we are chasing it, think about it. The more that we are chasing it, the more in debt that we are. The more debt the country is seeing. Is just we're chasing it, and with more debt comes destruction. All right. With more debt comes death and destruction. And we're seeing that. A lot of people is dying because of money. You know what I'm saying? Women is cheating and, breaking, homes because of money. Like I said, everything is falling back to money. And I definitely got to talk about that. So be prepared, stay tuned for our podcast, and just wait for it, man, because it's real. Um, I wanted to touch on another thing too. So, I posted something on my IG, and if you guys are not following me on Instagram, man, I don't know what you waiting for. Follow me on IG, man. You know what I'm saying? We at 20, what is it, 27, 28,000 subscribers, followers. We trying to make it reach 100. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to make it reach 100,000 by the end of the year. That's the goal. Always aim high. Um, I posted something. Um, First of all, I posted one where a grandchild was beating on her grandmother. Yes, I posted that. Right. Then I posted. Then I posted. Um. Let's go back. Hold on. Let's go back because I gotta talk about that. So I posted this little girl beating on her grandmother. I'm talking about like throwing haymakers, hooks, and uppercuts on her grandmother. Right. And I see that. So let me just explain this to you, and so you guys can have an understanding of what just took place. Um, to this little girl, I beg for you to seek forgiveness immediately. And I'm not talking about seeking forgiveness from no Jesus, no Lord, none of that bullshit. No, we talking about seeking forgiveness to the creators and your ancestors. Get that situated immediately. Okay? That's for real. You got to get that situated immediately because what's going to end up happening, hold on. Why they making me go back the same way I came? What's going to end up happening is you're going to end up having a very miserable life. And you said, do you have a ski mask? No. Why would I need a ski mask? But anyway, you you're gonna live a you're gonna live a miserable life, and there's a high possibility that you will be taken off this earth. Now, where I come from, in a Haitian household, in a Haitian tradition, you know what I'm saying? And if this goes on in Haiti, I'm sure it originates from Africa. And in this and in this and in this culture of ours, right? Doing such thing like putting your hands on the elderly or your mother or anything comes with consequences. There's a ritual that takes place within the El Kebulan in Haiti, the El Kebulan kidnaps in Haiti, where they do a summons. I don't know the story how it goes. I remember my mom's telling me this when I was younger. They do a summons and a chant, and they give up their left titty, and it's basically saying to the gods that this child that you gave me, that I invested my heart to, I no longer want it. And when you do that, and I don't want you guys to be like, oh my God, that sounds very evil and wicked. No, when you do that, you automatically gets destroyed. They said that anybody that's Haitian or you know any Haitian friends, ask them. Ask them about that ritual where a mother puts her left titty to the sun, it says a prayer, a chant, and I don't want to say prayer. I'd rather call it a chant because that's just what it is. And this person, that person who put their hands on that person, is taken away. Now, by me saying that, it just lets me know that, a lot of black African American children, especially these young girls, a lot of you guys, man, listen, a lot of you guys don't know. Y'all don't have absolutely no history, no heritage. I'm starting to think the slaves that they brought to America was, you know, from individuals that literally stood on nothing because you guys came back with no tradition, well, traditions that I may know of. You guys came back with no tradition. And you guys, not only did you come back with no tradition, your ways in life is literally from the people that in shackles, put shackles around your neck, that did all the damaging and effery to you. You feel me? And to see that, it breaks my heart. But to that little girl, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Where I come from doing stuff like that, you're gonna get removed. If I was to see that, even to this day, me having children, and imagine me even seeing that my child did that to my mom. You could forget I have a child. I would never put a child before my mom's, ever, because if it wasn't for my mom's, it won't be no me. And I hope every child feels the same way. I would expect mothers and fathers to understand that. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Get out of the space of this Euro-Christian ideology. Remember, this is the same people that 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 you know made a living killing and selling children. So don't let people tell you anything stupid in any notion. The reason why I'm saying that is because there's a pact that a man and a woman builds when they come together. And when they create a child, the child is literally the icing on the cake for the pact that was created amongst the two. right? So if I come together, me and you come together, and I say, yo, babe, I want to be with you forever, and we both come into that agreement, and we look up into the heavens, and we speak to our ancestors, and we do our enchantments, and all that has to be redone. Like even for me and the Wiz, we have to do things the right way. We have to go see one of we gotta go see one of the El Kebulan wizards and do the proper rituals. The reason the hold up for me is trying to find out exactly the origin of where in Africa El Kebulan I come from. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I can't say um I can't say Sunini Nanini is me or my God because I don't know if I come from South Africa. And there's a lot of people from South Africa that does not call the creator Nini Nanini. I'm just saying. You feel me? So a lot of things is being spread, and it's like, hold on, you know. But as far as children, the girl putting her hands on her mom, bro, you know how crazy that joint was. I'm talking about haymakers. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see it, and I commented on it as well. Unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? Unacceptable, right? And we gotta fix. We gotta restore order. As far as marriage goes, doing things the right way. Everything that we have been taught, El Kebulans, has to be redone. Everything. From the way that we think, from the way that we walk, from the way that we talk, the way that we dress, even the way that we have sex has to be corrected. We're doing everything wrong. Everything is wrong. Nothing is being done right to the point where we can stand and, you know, stand and rebuild and restructure the El Kebulans. We're literally destroyed in every way, shape, or form. And the correction only is going to come through us. The correction is only going to come for us having to acknowledge that and having to go back to the ways of old. When you hear the word go back into the ways of old, going back into the ways of old doesn't mean going back into the ways of old according to the Biblos. It doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to go back into the ways of old and I'm going to do this. No, that's not the ways of old. Again, I did this 1,000 times. Anything that's pertaining to religion has absolutely nothing to do with us. We are not religious people. We are spiritual people. There's a big difference between religion and spirituality. It's big difference. It's not, you know what I'm saying? These things are not the same, bro. You understand? You gotta realize and understand that these things are not the same. There's a big difference between religion and spirituality, and we have to know that. When you spirit, listen, spirituality is life, religion is death. I repeat, spirituality is life, and religion is death. I repeat, spirituality is life, and religion is death. I repeat, spirituality is life, and religion is death. Okay? And I want you guys to process that. Let that digest and manifest into your mind just a little bit. You understand? So even that, bro. But if you know anybody that knows about that Haitian ritual, and when I run it, when I see my mom's again, I'm gonna definitely ask her if she could give me more in-depth information. Now, I wanted to talk about another thing. So another video I posted up on my Instagram, and it was basically showing that two Europeans dressed in a KKK decided to go into an all blacks, I guess, park convention. I don't know, but they went there and they was unalive. I commented on it, and again, you get mixed reviews. You get the people that's like, yeah, it's about time, blah, 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 blah. And then you get those that's gonna say, oh yeah, oh wait, etc., etc. We're gonna show you what the white people is about, blah, 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 blah. Look, I wanted to address this, and the reason why I wanted to address this is because this is for all nations, and when I say nations, I'm saying this is for everybody that took advantage of the El Cabulan kidnapping. Man, look at the beard growing back nice and healthy. You heard? You see how healthy? You see the skin, man? Sheesh, man. Damn, I'm looking healthy right here. I'm looking healthy. You heard? I love it. But anyway, I wanted to give a public service announcement to all the nations that took advantage of the Al Kebulan kidnaps. For those that's reaping all the benefits, everything that you see here, shout outs to you for that. First and foremost, shout out to you guys. Um, if I was in your position, it's a high possibility I probably would have did the same thing. So I want to give a shout out to you guys. But let's talk the seriousness. Let's call it for what it is, right? Um, in everything in life, right? There's always something that goes up and then something that falls down. Everywhere you go in life, you're gonna have those that's successful. You're gonna have kingdoms, countries, etc., that's gonna, be on top on one day and fall the next day. And the sad thing is, America is the one that's falling. Um, is the falling prophetic? Absolutely not. All of this is propaganda, meaning it's literally designed intentionally for it to fail. Um, the issue which you guys are failing to realize is that these people have a clear understanding that the clock is ticking. These people understand that the clock is ticking, and not only is the clock ticking, it's literally about survival. I was watching a video where a Chinese guy was talking to a European, and he asked the European why did he vote for Donald Trump, and his response is, "We voted for him for our survival." If he said if white people becomes a minority and America gets overtaken by Chinese, Haitians, Arabs, whoever, then what do we stand on? He says white people no longer run anything. He said white people don't run China, white people is not running Mexico, white people is not doing nothing. He says all we have to ourselves is America. And he says if America is ours, we voted for Trump to make sure that our race stay on top. So when you see all the rules and the regulations that you guys are seeing, is literally rules and regulations to ensure that these people stay on top. Now, I have total understanding behind this, and I get it, right? But I want you to know something, right? That there's not absolutely nothing in this world that you see going on. There's nothing that's going on in this world right now in 2025 that can stop what you see happening. See, when I hear the word survival, I automatically think of slavery. When I hear the word survival, I automatically think of slavery. Because I say to myself, wow, the audacity that these people said that it's all about survival. The audacity. Because that was the same thing my ancestors were saying when they converted into Islam, into Christianity. They didn't want to, right? They didn't want to vote for Trump, but they did because it was about survival. See, they didn't want to go to church. They didn't want to praise Allah. They didn't want to serve Jesus, but it's all about survival. So they had to convert in order for their DNA to be here for 2025. So you guys can be here right now to listen to me talk to you. And me talking to you is because their ancestors is controlling your frequency right now. It's controlling your frequency, right? There's an uphill battle right now with you guys, right? It's an uphill battle where you have the urge like, nah, Brother Jones is talking that talk, but then Brother Jones is also challenging your very beliefs. Now, not only am I challenging your very beliefs, but I'm also challenging your ideologies of this belief. And sometimes it's something very hard to digest and process. So you automatically see me as the enemy because you was taught that. Remember, religion comes with the you get the book of understanding, and then you get the book of rejection. The book of rejection is the rebuttals that you have for individuals that do not accept the word of Jesus. Okay? Every church has it. Every preacher preaches it. You just got to be able to identify it. But everybody. And they got, just like you can find precepts for every good day, bad day. So if you're going through something, you'll find the right precept. They also got the precepts that was written within the Biblos to go against people that don't believe. You know, right, dust your hands off, wash your feet, close the door, never cast your pearls among swine. You know, the list goes on and on and on. So those precepts in itself is part of the reason why you brothers and sisters can't break out, because you believe that what's coming out of my mouth or what's coming out of individuals like myself, you believe it to be um um heresy or evil and wicked and blasphemy. Like, oh, this man is speaking pure blasphemy about Jesus, right? Everybody says Jesus is the way, Jesus is king, etc., etc. But then when I say, if Jesus is king and Jesus is the way, then why was Jesus the king forced upon people that didn't know he was a king? And not only did we not know he was a king, we didn't care that he was a king, because his rulership had absolutely nothing to do with us. But every time I say that, individuals take it as I'm attacking their religion. When I tell people that your Jesus is the devil himself, people thinking that I'm lying. When you read the book and you see how they write about him and worship him, you will see that this is the devil. Think about this, right? I'm gonna give you guys this, and then we're gonna keep it pushing, right? Think about this. Um, if I told you that you can no longer come inside my house, never again. You can never have entry inside my house. I'm gonna kick you out, right? But your little brother, right? Your little brother could come in and out the house, right? Your little brother could come in and out the house, right? Oh, matter of fact, let me take the little brother out. If I tell you you can't come in and out the house, but let's just say 10 years go by, and now you find out that I had, not only did I had the devil in my house, but I was breaking bread with him. How would you feel about that? You would be highly upset. You would feel disrespected. You would have felt violated, right? Cool. And I would expect you to. But that's the same thing that's going on when it comes to Jesus. Because Jesus is the devil. The book of Ezekiel lets you know that. Right? But when I tell people this, people find ways to be offended and feel like I'm attacking them or I'm attacking their beliefs. No, I'm not attacking the belief. I'm attacking the demon that's inside of you, that's literally holding your soul hostage. That's what I'm attacking. So when I hear the rebuttals that brothers and sisters bring forth, I know it's not you, unless you're not an El Kebulan kidnap. If you are El Kebulan kidnap, I know that it's not you that I'm talking to. I know that it's an evil spirit that came along through years and years of false indoctrination. Think about that. False indoctrination. So how can I continue to let my people suffer when the fight is listen, the fight has just begun. It's just started. It's about to get real nasty real soon. They're gonna starve us. They're gonna starve us. They're gonna starve us. They're gonna listen carefully to what I'm telling you guys. You know, they're gonna starve us. They're contaminating the water. I'm telling you, I got it. I got the water tester. I tested my water in my house, straight from the faucet. And I'm gonna show you. And I know I told you guys that I was gonna do a video to show you guys, but I'm gonna show you. I really want you guys to see exactly what's going on. And then when I test the bottled water, right? The bottled water that I got, and it was clear. Cause if that bottled water showed any sign of dirtiness, best believe I was getting ready to sue. Best believe I was getting ready for a suit. Best believe I was gonna call my lawyer. Best believe they would have to pay up one way or the other. Best believe. Heard up. Matter of fact, I gotta make a phone call. Yo, listen, guys. I'll be back in a few. I really gotta make this phone call. I totally forgot. Damn, I gotta call these people. Yeah. I'll be back, guys.